This video is going to be me trying to figure out which palette I want to pan. I'm going to narrow it down to a few things, and I would love your input on whatever I have left. So, right over here we have my dog. I covered him up with one of my sweatshirts. He's in a little ball right now. He's a good boy. Anyways, first off, I have two e.l.f. eyeshadow palettes. These two e.l.f. palettes, along with the Naked 3 and this NYC palette and this NYX palette, those were my very first palettes. I never owned a drop of makeup until my 15th birthday, and then my aunt, she set me up real nice. She sure did. These two e.l.f. palettes were hand-me-downs from her, as was this NYX palette, and this NYC palette, and the Naked 3 palette she bought me brand new for my 15th birthday, and I'm almost 18, so those will be about 3 years old. Now, this NYX palette and these two e.l.f. palettes were hand-me-downs, so she owned those before she gave them to me. I don't know how long she had those, but that would make these three palettes the oldest in my collection. Now, this one is quite bulky, and the shadows aren't the best quality in my opinion, and I don't know, I feel like it's a little boring. However, this white is great for setting your eye primer, and you have lots of great neutral shades, and I feel like this would be pretty easy to pan, especially like this black. It's not super pigmented, so I could definitely pan that pretty easily, I think. And also, because the shadows aren't super pigmented, I feel like I could layer them a lot, and I might be able to go through it a bit easier. So it would be nice to pan that, I think, as my first pan that palette. However, it doesn't excite me, you know? Now this one, it's definitely, I mean, it's bigger. However, the pan sizes are very small, and as you can see, I already have a lot of pan showing. And these darker shades, like this one, I found out that I really like this one in my brows. And yeah, there's already a lot of work done on it, and I do enjoy it a lot. You know, at first glance, it looks really dark and kind of scary, but like, there's everything you need to pull together a really cohesive look, and it's very nice. If I were to pan this palette, the only one that I can't guarantee, like the only shade that I might not work with, is this one up here in the corner, because it's glitter, and I do not trust myself with glitter. But yeah, another reason I would really like to pan this palette is because it's broken, you guys. And yeah, it's just kind of a pain, but you know, I don't know. So this is one of my leading palettes, I guess you would say. I'm really considering this one. And then my last one is the e.l.f. 100 Pan Palette. Now this looks really colorful and really daunting at first, and I know there's no way that I could pan this entire thing. If I were to pan this palette, I would do a more realistic goal for it. I don't know, I'd probably make like a point system or something, you know? Let's say I want to get like 25 points, and hitting pan on a shadow would be 1 point, and finishing a shadow might be 2 points. You know, something like that. But, I don't know, it still is very colorful. However, if you look at it more closely, if you look at each column, you'll see that it's a very cohesive color story, and it would be very easy to get some very wearable looks out of this. Especially with like this row here. actually these 3 rows, you could get some very warm, neutral eyeshadow looks, which is very popular now. And then there's some matte white shades, which would be great for setting the base. So that's a thought as well. But then, to me, it would be almost a disservice if I didn't use these. Because here's the thing. Whatever palette I decide to pan, like, I'm going to start focusing on that palette specifically, and then I won't get a whole lot of use out of my other palettes. And these 5 palettes here, I just got for Christmas. And they are gorgeous, all of them. Well, let's start with the Naked Cherry. So here's the Naked Cherry. And I love it so much. It's so pretty. And then, of course, the Gingerbread palette is gorgeous as well. And then Dark Side of the Moon. This was from my friend. And that's a very nice palette as well. And it's, you know, it's definitely got some color to it, but it's not so crazy that it'd be too hard to pan. So there's that one. And I also have these 2 palettes. And at first, you know, these were from my mom. And I love them. They're great neutral shades. Can't go wrong with that. And I thought that would pan just one of them because they're small. It'd be a great first palette to pan. However, these are all matte and these are all shimmer. I want a palette that has both. So then I thought maybe panning them together. But then, I don't know, to me it kind of loses the purpose of panning one palette. I mean, granted, one of these palettes is more than both of these combined, but still, call me crazy, I don't know, I want one palette, so I'm actually not going to pan these. And I don't think I'm going to pan this one either. So these are out. I also have this Interstellar palette. These 2 are both by Blackheart, which is from Hot Topic brand. Whoops. Hi! Like my little Castile phone case. Isn't it cute? But yeah, so these are definitely very colorful though. So this was also from a friend, and I love it, but I don't think these colors would be ideal to pan. So I'm also taking this out of the equation. So if we go back to some of my older palettes, again, this is almost 3 years old, and this is a dupe for the Naked palette. This would be definitely an easy palette to pan. Neutral shades. The only shade that I would actually be worried about would probably be this gray, because I don't really go for gray shadows a whole lot, but it's still very neutral, and I'm sure I could do it. And yeah, there's already some use on it, obviously. It's one of my oldest palettes and one of my first, and I really did love it a lot. I got a lot of use out of it. However, I didn't use it enough to hit pan, obviously. But that would be a great first palette to pan. But then I also have 3 more. I have this one from Tarte. Actually, I don't think I'm going to go with this one. So, I have this Winky Luxe palette, the Kitten palette. And this is so pretty. It has a nice pinky highlight shade, a matte cream shade to set your primer, a perfect transition shade, and then you have 2 more mattes to deepen up the outer V or the crease, and then your pick of shimmer for the lid. But I definitely feel like I might run out of that, I don't know, the matte shades. I feel like 4 shimmers to, I don't know, split between 1 transition shade and 2 matte shades is just, I don't know, I don't think it's enough. And I feel like it's just a lot of very dark eye looks that I would get with this. So I don't think I'm going to do that one either. And now this one I've also considered. because this one I feel like would be great to start out because there's only 6 shades. You know, you have a light matte shade to set the primer, a crease shade, well, transition shade, I guess, either or, and the one that's a little bit darker. And then you have a shimmery shade, a pop of color, and there is a glitter. So, the thing is with this palette, like I said, you know, glitter, I don't know how I feel about glitter. And if I take out that glitter shade, there's only 5 shades left. So I definitely feel like that might get kind of boring. And there's also no highlight shade, unless I want to do a matte highlight, which I prefer a shimmery highlight. But, yeah, so I think I'm going to take this one out too. So, that leaves us with the 2 e.l.f. palettes. The Levatics by Demi, the Naked 3, the Naked Cherry, the Gingerbread, and Dark Side of the Moon. And you know what, guys? I'm actually going to take out these 2 just because I love them so much and they're brand new, and I don't want to, I want to save them for a little while. Maybe next year I can pan them. I don't know. We'll see. And actually, I don't think I want to pan this one either. I want some more. I mean, that is fairly wearable, but I still feel like the colors probably aren't the easiest to pan. So, that leaves me with the Naked 3. And you guys, I actually, even though this was one of my first palettes, I haven't really gotten a ton of use out of it, which is a shame because it's gorgeous and I should use it. I don't know, I don't know. I just feel like I should use it. Anyways, so the Naked 3, the NYC Levatics by Demi, and then I have this one as well. And I don't know. I think it's these 4, you guys. Now, obviously, if I do this one, I'm not going to pan the whole thing. I'll probably, you know, come up with some sort of rules for this palette. This one definitely needs its own set of rules, I feel. This one I feel like would be really good. However, these 2, because, you know, a Naked and a Naked Dupe, I feel like so many people have already panned those. And it might get kind of boring if you watch other people as well. However, just because other people pan those, I don't think that should turn me off from panning them personally. Because they are still great quality. And they are some of my oldest eyeshadows. And I really should use them, I feel. But yeah, so right now I have it narrowed down to these 4. And, sorry about that, about those fingers. So I have it narrowed down to these 4. And I would love your input on which you think I should pan. So, yeah, just please tell me what you think. I'm looking forward to whichever, you know. I'm sure I will enjoy any palette of these 4. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye! Hey guys, if you hear some noise in the background, it's just the fireplace over there. It's crackling a little bit. But, originally I was just gonna leave the video the way it was, but it just didn't feel right, not to have my pretty face in the end. No, I'm just kidding. I'd rather say bye like this. I don't know. But yeah, just thanks for watching my video, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye!